This is Chazz Says Anything for July 31st, 2023. The title of this episode 12, MLB Trade Deadline, is in exactly 22 hours. So there might be a little flurry of trades. It already started, and I'm going to go over a little bit. It started like 2 days ago, so 48 hours ago. It started like July 28th. Actually, it's 3 days ago, so yeah, 72 hours. So if you like what you see or hear, click the subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner. It's got the little StreamYard logo, I believe, or it's my logo with the mouth on YouTube. So let's get right into it. The MLB trade deadline is less than 22 hours to go. This really started on the 28th, and I want to say the initial start was the trade from Chicago to the Dodgers with Lance Lynn and Joe Kelly, both right-handed pitchers, going to the Dodgers for Trayce Thompson, Nick Nastrini, and Jordan Leisure. So, yeah, Dodgers were the first to seemingly get, bigger. Then Chicago also traded Kendall Graveman, the right-handed pitcher that they had, for Corey Lee, the catcher from Houston. Shockingly, Corey Lee, I thought Corey Lee was pretty good, but maybe Houston wasn't unhappy with him. Who knows? I mean, maybe they got another catcher down in the minors. Now, this one honestly shocked everybody. And I'll go to my next banner. The Mets fire sale. Clean up in pitching aisle and lack of clutch hitting / runners in scoring position percentage. The lack of clutch hitting, I think I talked about last week, with the fact that you have 4 players who are primetime players or PTPers or whatever you want to call it, making $100 million plus, under 70 points in their average from last year. That just doesn't, it's obviously didn't sit well because we've now seen the flurry, and the first one to go down was the pitcher, the closer for the Mets, David Robertson, going to Miami for Marco Vargas and Ronald Hernandez. Vargas is a second baseman. Hernandez is a catcher. The Mets really need another catcher. I mean, they got lots of catchers. Second baseman, this guy's probably not good enough to maybe even be AA. So that's why they. It's a fire sale. That's what started the fire sale. I didn't see too many other big ones on that day. Trayce Thompson was placed on 60-day DL. That's not good for Chicago. So, yeah, Chicago's, kind of losing a lot there. They're probably going to be the number 1 pick in the draft next year. Then Giolito. That's right. I think I might forget that one. Did I not see it? Los Angeles Angels. Yeah, Giolito got traded to the Angels. Yeah, I tell you, the Angels. I remember I said, I think it was last week, that I thought Ohtani was the big gun for the Mets and Yankees. Yeah. The day after, obviously everybody knows now that Ohtani not being moved. It's just not happening. So, yeah, that sucks for now, but who knows? Anything's possible in the offseason. That's to be seen. The next day, July 29th, not seeing many trades, and just a bunch of people being optioned. So yesterday was a big one. Yeah, Sunday. We got St. Louis trading Jordan Montgomery, the former Yankee pitcher, and Chris Stratton to Texas for John King, Tekoa Roby, and Thomas Sagassi. Wow, Texas is loading up. And obviously they got 2 pitchers there, and then Texas Also, that same day, and this was the big one that shocked the New York area. That, or where is it? Why do I not see it? I mean, it was yesterday, right? Yeah. Well, I don't see it on MLB's transactions, which is a little shocking. But we all know Max Scherzer went for Luis. That's what I wish I had the name. Luis Angel something. He's the younger brother of the Braves. Oh, Acuna. That's it. Luis Angel Acuna. He's the younger brother who plays second base. Another second baseman for the Mets. So either the Swirl's going to play outfield now. I don't know. I mean, there's just so much rumbling on that side with McNeil and yeah, I know we can play right field. I mean, maybe that's what they'll do, and they'll bring up a second baseman here or there. But I just think the Mets in this retool, I think Epler's gone, but that it's early yet. The Mets haven't lost 10 in a row. That's to be, seen. Okay, yeah. So no more Mets stuff that I can see. Excuse me. CJ Cron got assigned to the minors from the Los Angeles Angels. Colorado's another one that's trading everybody. Colorado, it seems like they're done. And they traded a couple guys to the Angels, and the Angels are now moving guys to the minors because they don't necessarily need them. All right, let's go to today. So, let's see. Cleveland traded Aaron Savali to the Rays for first baseman Kyle Manzardo. Oh, Jesus, sorry. I have the Yankee game on. They just gave up another freaking home run. Anyway, I'll get to the Yankees. Yankees option Marinaccio. They recalled Brito, who just gave up that home run. He's given up 2 home runs now, by the way. Yankees are down, I believe it's 3-1 or 4-1 at the moment. So, yeah, Brito might not have been a great idea. Just saying. Not seeing the other trades that I did hear from. Okay, yeah. So, there was another trade that went down. I do see it on ESPN. There's Mark Canha from the New York Mets gets traded to the Milwaukee Brewers for minor league pitcher Justin Jarvis. So Canha's got 2 years left on his $26.5 million contract with a buyout of a 20-24 option. So Milwaukee thinks that they got a shot. So then they probably do need another outfielder. That would be good for them. Jarvis, he's a double-A pitcher who was just put into triple-A, and he wasn't doing very good, so he's probably going to go back to double-A. So he'll be able to rumble ponies, if I'm correct. And maybe the Somerset Patriots will see him in a week. So if I'm correct, I think they face him again. I don't know. I thought I got an email about that. So, yeah, that's it for the moment. It hasn't been too many jumps. I guess Scherzer was the big one that shocked the world. My initial feeling on that was the fact that Scherzer just wasn't, after the Robertson trade, that he just wasn't in it. He thought that the team that, almost like Robertson was his guy. So I get that. It is what it is. I don't see it as a bad thing. Mets fans, I know, went 2 ways with that. Some Mets fans they saw Acuna as a possible godsend. This kid could be something. He might be. He's now the number 1 prospect for the Mets. That's looking, glass half full. There's no doubt. But then there's the fire sale aspect of, oh my God, we're burning the house down, and it seems like that's what Uncle Steve is doing. And, I'm curious how many, will they have more sellouts that at Citi Field because I've tried to entice Beth to go to a Citi Field game. Now that Alonzo's still there, there's still a lot of people there. So I don't think people want to go. Let's say I got 2 comments here already. Who do we got? Yeah, I'm gonna get on that. Start today. Yeah. Fam next. Yeah, probably. It's very possible. Very possible. I wasn't gonna go on Fam because honestly, Fam hasn't. For as much as they've been talking to fans going, he hasn't gone. So I just maybe that's tomorrow. Maybe it's late tonight. I'll get to this. Like I said, Verlander still New York Met for now. From everything he said yesterday, I truly think he's staying. I can't imagine he wants to leave. I think he's happy and settled. He sees a better light than maybe Verlander did. Than Scherzer did. So on that, I think Verlander's staying, but that can change in 22 hours. That can absolutely change. Now let's get to the guys that are above me that are playing like you know what right now. Is this a statement series? I got to turn this off. Sorry. Hold on a second. I thought I turned it off. I don't care about Fox Sports right now. Statement. Is this a statement series for the Yankees? Absolutely. The Rays today, tomorrow, Wednesday. It was a statement. The last 3 games, we went 1-2. Not good. I know it was in Baltimore. I know they're one of the top teams in the league. I get that. We need to hit. Period. It just can't. It can't be just Aaron Judge and the rest of the Bad News Bears. We need to learn to hit. What I said about the Mets with their lack of, hitting, the Yankees fall in that too. These guys can't be hitting 220. I think I saw Bader was hitting 260, but he should be closer to 300. DJ I know is coming back, but is this comeback long term or is it short term? He's still got 3 years left on his contract. Giancarlo Stanton's got 4 years on his contract. And Michael Kay pointed out on the show today, the man can't run. This is not good that he can't run. I know when we got him, it was great, and he was the power hitter and this and that, but he hasn't really shown that. And he's playing the field, which is good, and he hasn't got injured. And he's playing tonight in the field because Judge is DH. But they need to get a fire under their ass. There needs to be firecrackers. So, I'm wearing the shirt underneath. Hell, let me get up. I'll take the shirt off. Hold on. Savages in the box. Remember that? Savages in the box. Where are they? I don't know where they are. I don't know what. I know the man who said it's still our manager. Where are these Savages in the box? And I'll say this. With the series, like I said, we need to win this series. We also want to need the next one. Houston, 4 games in our building. And as you can see, as I said, I'll be there on Thursday. Find me on Yes. As far as I know, excuse me again, I should be on the first base or third base side. I'm not sure which. My nephew is, from what I've been told, supposed to be on the field, and we're on the 100 area, whether that's behind first base or behind third base. I'm not sure which. So I'm debating to wear this hat. I probably will wear Savages in the box. This is going to watch tonight. I want to get on TV if I can. We'll see. You don't have anything that can promote Chazz Says Anything. One of these days that'll happen. Until then, so be it. But I will be there. If you guys are watching, if you guys see this before Thursday, I should be there, and we'll see what happens. Next. So this is my rant. Okay, and I'm a little ticked when I saw it, and I can't believe that this hasn't happened yet. Mets Yankees Subway Series, one of the series needs to be played on September 11th every year. It's 2023. I think it's only happened twice. That's incomparable. For people who weren't here in the New York area in 2001, I'm not going to get into everything because that's I didn't lose anybody personally, but being a fireman's kid and all the firemen that I knew and know that might have known somebody, all the family members that I did know that lost somebody, there's a few. It hurts every day. I still think about it every day. It's why I have New York behind me. It's not a place, I want to be at, but I love it because of what it is and what they tend to be on a daily basis, minus the BS that does happen. And for the Mets and Yankees, MLB has dropped the ball on this big time. I don't know who's doing the schedule. I heard at one point it was Joe Torre. Whoever's doing needs to get it done. I would love to go viral because there's a bunch of jokers who do the schedule that they're more worried about. Oh, let's get the ratings up, but let's not worry what it means to a certain area. And when you do Subway Series Mets Yankees on September 11th, I'd include Baltimore and Washington too. Just saying. That happened with them too. And Pittsburgh, Philly. Now Pittsburgh and Philly, remember that in between with that playing in Pennsylvania. So those 3 games should be played on September 11th every year. Infinitum. Look it up if you don't know infinitum. Until the earth is gone. Until there's nothing of us playing baseball anymore. That's when it should end. Flat out, I'm going to be fighting for this every day. I'm going to be talking about this every day. It needs to be done. September 11th, the Mets and Yankees should be playing either in the Bronx or in Flushing. Same for Boston, Washington and Baltimore. Same for Philly and Pittsburgh. Do whatever you want for everybody else. Okay? They were affected, I guess, because they may have had family, but all they were was shut down. We were affected. We saw we were miles from the Twin Towers. Everybody who lived in that town at the time dealt with this. And a lot of those people aren't here anymore. 20 years later, a lot of them are gone. Maybe down the road I'll get into this a little bit more. I might get emotional. It does happen. But, that was an emotional rant. I didn't get too loud. That's fine. This I might. Why in the hell is there load management in baseball? So Aaron Judge missed the game last night. So what happened? We lost 9-3. On Sunday Night Baseball. Struck out 18 times in the game. Now, it wasn't just from one pitcher. Overall pitchers, I think they had 4 or 5. I didn't watch the game. I'll get into why I didn't watch the game down the way a little bit. I read about this. I looked it up. I couldn't believe it. I heard about it this morning. I was incensed. Load management, because he was DH and he played in the field. Load management in baseball is DH, the designated hitter. We cannot make Aaron Judge LeBron James. I'm sorry, we just can't do it. Aaron Judge, if he needs a day of rest, he needs a day of rest after like 5 or 6 games, so be it. I heard today, he hopes to have Judge play in all 3 games. I tell you what, if he not that I want to see Judge on Thursday. He should be in that game against Houston. I don't care if he's playing right field. Let him hit. That we need his bat in the lineup. You cannot take that bat out of the lineup until you have a decent amount of wins. You're in the right position. I'm telling you, is he coming out of any game in the playoffs? I don't think so. We're in a stage that you need to be in the playoffs. We're 3 out of the 3rd spot. 3 games with 50 something to go. That's not a lot, but it is. These guys they should know better. These guys they don't have that sense of urgency apparently, and I don't know why. And then maybe Aaron Boone just is too relaxed in his job. Maybe Cashman, maybe he's too relaxed. Maybe he thinks that my buttering the bread of this team is okay. No, it's not. You got more bad ones than good, and you still got 2 bad ones on the team. And I hate to include Stanton in that, but you got 2 bad ones on the team. Donaldson needs to go. Once his injury's done, pay him off. It's one of his worst trades. Easily one of his worst trades. Is IKF doing any better? He's good. He's decent, but he's not. He's not what he could be. He should have been the shortstop to stop Volpe from coming up for another year. He wasn't. I'm done with that 2-word phrase, load management. Even obviously in basketball too. That's why I'm starting to not like basketball too much. I mean, I if I had the better shape and I could go from work and then go play an hour, I'd do it. So I'd work an 8-hour shift at my job and then go play for an hour. These guys practice for an hour or 2 and then go play their game for 2 hours in increments. And they get the water, they get the Gatorade, they get everything they get is free. I gotta go buy the Gatorade at the Acme or the ShopRite. They get it. I'm done with these wussies with load management. Come work at 9 to 5, and I don't even work at 9 to 5. Come work at 9 to 5, make under 100,000, under, and try to survive on that. In New Jersey, if you're not making close to 6 figures, you're busting your ass. Because you have to. That's how I grew up. That's how we all grew up. Load management. You know what? Wow. Yeah, I really want my kids to see this, so I'm trying not to curse. I'm really trying not to curse. I don't want my kids to do load management. They will learn. You work until you're done. Maybe I need to show them tapes of Cal Ripken Jr. You know, it's really getting my go right now that this is a thing and that it's acceptable. You know, okay. Before I go off, I will go off on another day because long story short, I'm a diabetic, and I took a new thing that I had to take, Ozempic, and one of the things it could do for you is nauseate you, and I couldn't even eat dinner. Okay, so I'm trying to not get myself going too much, but that really gets my go, and we'll talk about that more down the road, especially if it'll still be happening down the road. Okay, WWE. I know it's on right now. I know people are probably watching. That's why only my buddy Start Today is watching right now, right? Start Today, you're probably not a WWE fan. That's fine. I just want to go over a little bit what's going on. Seth freaking Rollins is teaming up with Zayn Sami Zayn against the Judgment Day. I tell you, if you guys who will be watching or start today, if you watch WWE, I am not a fan of Judgment Day. I know that the heels, the kid, Rey Mysterio's kid, is the reason why more than anything else. I actually respect Damian. I respect Finn Balor. I'm not a big fan of Rhea Ripley, but I do respect her wrestling ability. The kid, I just you know, I don't want to vomit right now, so that's what I'd be doing. He kind of wants me. His character makes me that. I know that's the whole role. So, but saying Seth freaking Rollins, he's probably one of the top 10 guys right now wrestling. I mean, he's funny. You know, his character that he kind of embraces outside of the WWE ring with his wife Becky Lynch. He's a pretty interesting guy. He was just on ESPN today on First Take. I caught that a little bit. So Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar are going to be in under the same roof. So that ought to be interesting. Logan Paul's going to be on too, and Maxine Dupree going to tangle with Valhalla. Now, if you got nobody knows who Valhalla is, she's this manager, women manager. She's manager of a tag team, and she's a little nuts. There's nobody I can comp her with. Maybe somebody who's a wrestling fan can comp her because I don't know anybody. I'm thinking Luna, but Luna wasn't that crazy. So you know, I definitely need someone to comp me on that. And then obviously we got the road to SummerSlam. That's in a couple weeks. I cannot wait to see that. It's going to be Brock and Cody is the match I want to see. All right, let me get rid of some of these so I can move on. Okay, so Aaron Rodgers. Let's go to this. If it ever comes up. There we go. It's coming up slowly. There's a video going apparently. That's why. Aaron Rodgers blows up at Sean Payton's take. Okay, maybe I'm going slow because I see I'm going slow. Let me take this out. That might work. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. I slowed down because of video. Aaron Rodgers blows up Sean Payton's take on Nathaniel Hackett's coaching in Denver last season after Payton retracted from it yesterday. You know what? And Aaron Rodgers, I wish I could play the video. It's not easy to play the video on these things. I got to get a better upgrade. The video, he really led into Sean Payton, and it's very interesting. All right, we got another comment. Let's see. Say anything, but please don't drop us on us, Chazz. Did I drop? I'm sorry. I didn't know I dropped. Okay. Like you said, it probably went slow. I can't have videos up. That's part of the problem. All right. Let's see. Let me get back to. No. Why did that move down? That's weird. All right, that moved down. That shouldn't have. So, like I said, the blow up. Aaron Rodgers has actually kind of gotten himself more acclimated to New York than I thought. He's buying in, you know, and he's been on a couple of radio shows here, and he's talked about how he wants to probably be here for more than 2 years. That you know that he feels that it's a necessity. I am starting to buy in as a football fan what he's actually selling. So we'll see. You know, 13 wins. It could be a possibility. You know, that I'm not spitballing because I did look at the schedule. I am going to do the schedule probably in about a couple weeks. I'm going to go win-loss for Jets and Giants and Eagles. Excuse me. I'm not going to do everyone. That's going to take too long. So I figured I'd do those three. Jets and Giants are obviously this area. And Eagles, my loving fiance, her team, you know, thinks that she can go back to the Super Bowl, which is a possibility. They're not a bad team. It's going to be tough for any team to beat the Eagles, you know, as they are constituted right now. But that's why they play 17 games. They're going to lose at least one or two. It's just a matter of when. So, but yeah, I think Sean Payton, if he doesn't win this year, after all the things he said. If who's their quarterback? Former Seattle quarterback, Russell Wilson. If he doesn't get back on the horse he was, because Russell Wilson did nothing last year. I'm in a fantasy league, and I don't think anybody had Russell Wilson starting unless it was a drop week for their quarterback. Russell Wilson had one of the worst drops from like top 10 quarterback to maybe as low as whatever Jet quarterback was last year. So yeah, Sean Payton better get that quarterback figured out. There's not much in NFL news and notes. Like I said, we'll be getting to that in a week. The one thing I did see is there is a game on Thursday. It's the Hall of Fame game, the Jets and the Browns, and I believe they're playing in Cleveland because obviously the Hall of Fame's in Canton. So that's the one thing. Football's coming, guys. I did my football pool early. I want to get it out there. I want people to know about it. I had 37 people last year. I know I can do more than that. The more people, the more money to go to more people. Simple as that. I had 2 winners a week. I had 4 winners at the end of the year. I can do more if I have more. Numbers don't lie. So let me go to this. So why I wasn't watching baseball yesterday. So I finished Secret Invasion from Marvel, and I finished I started and finished. There's only 6 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Both were excellent. I'm a big Marvel fan, and that I'm not for people who haven't seen Secret Invasion or who don't like Marvel. I apologize, but I'm not going to give everything away. But this is obviously it's about Sam Jackson's character. Sam Jackson's character. Oh God, I saw the movie and I forgot to take my Prevagen today. See, Prevagen. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna put you on. Maybe you can get more. Anyway, so Jackson's character had to come back from space because something happened with the Skrulls. And Nick Fury. Hello. Wow. It comes back to me. So Nick Fury did come back to Earth, deal with the Skrull invasion that was going on. That's the invasion. I'm not going to get into it. There are, I don't want to say prime people, but there are certain people that die. And very sad. First episode of the 6 that they just died, and it was like, oh my God, it kind of breaks your heart. But sometimes you got to kill a character off like Iron Man when Iron Man died. And I hope that's not a spoiler. Anyway, so the Secret Invasion, if you want to see it, you watch it as soon as you can. That is well worth the watch. Now, Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. Much better than I expected because it is kind of a link between 3 and 4. It does show. It almost gives not a closure, but somewhat of a more inclusive feel of what this the link was supposed to be. I think there's going to be a second. From what I heard, there's a second because there's a lot more you can do in between. I think it was 30 years, if I'm correct, between 3 and 4, theoretically, if you go by the literalness of the book. But so they could theoretically do 3 6-episode seasons. I mean, it's possible. But it was really good. Most of the players came back, too. That's really cool. Like Jimmy Smith came back as Leia's adopted father. The guy who played Owen and his wife, who adopted Luke, came back. I mean that's epic. So the ones over there, was it more than 10 years ago, in the third episode, came back to be in this iconic 6-episode series. Obviously, Ewan McGregor came back, and I think he was pretty good. Not going to tell you at the beginning because that what he is in the beginning of Obi-Wan Kenobi, you need to understand what they go into it over the next few episodes. So that when you see it trust me, you couldn't stop watching it. Thank God it's only 6 because it doesn't encompass your whole day. So did I get rid of it? Yeah, I did get rid of it. So because that's the one that had the video. So my throwback Monday movie of the week, Coming to America. The cast, you remember, the ones you don't. Obviously there's Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall, and link for Star Wars, James Earl Jones as the King. There was a bunch of other ones. I don't think I could pull it back up. Like I said, it was I can't pull it back up. So that's my throwback movie. I know a lot. It's actually one of my favorite movies. If I ever do a top 10, that will be in the top 10. I promise you that. And it's not number 1 though, because number 1 is another 80s movie. I'll get, like I said, down the road we'll get to that. That's one of my things I want to do at some point. Although I want to do it before football, but maybe not. Maybe I can include it with football. Okay, next. Now this interests me because I would kind of want to, I'd love to get into the movie business. That would be fun for me. Get behind the scenes. I always wanted to do TV. Now that we got this writer's strike going on in Hollywood, AsburyParkPress.com had a report about could this sink the Netflix studios that's at Fort Monmouth. Now, according to the Asbury Park Press, and this is an article by Michael Diamond, Jess Bush landed a lead role in Star Trek Strange New Worlds, won an acclaim for her performance, and found herself in rare company, an actor who could pay the bills. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, it's the unions for writers and actors are on strike together for the first time in more than 60 years, calling on studios to agree to a contract that will keep up with the rapidly changing industry. They want to be paid more for the shows that are streamed on the internet. Okay, that makes sense. And they want protections for artificial intelligence. So New Jersey residents, this is where it's key for New Jersey, have more at stake in the outcome, whether they'll have new shows to watch this fall. The state has granted increasingly generous tax credits to the TV and film producers, giving the economy a jolt at generating a buzz at the Jersey Shore, who are streaming giant Netflix is planning to build one of their world's biggest production studios at the former Fort Monmouth. Now, for people who grew up in Eatontown, Oceanport, Tinton Falls, Shrewsbury, maybe Red Bank, Little Silver, you might know it too. That area of Fort Monmouth was big. And it's been empty for the last 10, 15 years. Netflix wants to put something in there, and that's going to be a lot of jobs. That's going to be a lot of economy coming into the surrounding areas. The Americana diners in Shrewsbury, the luncheonette in Eatontown, the Eatontown luncheonette. I forgot the name, Sal. Sorry. If Sal ever watches, Sal's breakfast luncheonette. Go if you can. If you're in the area, Sal makes the best breakfast in Eatontown, bar none, hands down. I'll stake my life on it. I love my wife. She makes great breakfast, but in Eatontown, there's no one better than Sal. Anyway, so that's people like that. It's going to be affected, and the Monmouth Mall, which is already going through a transformation now because they're putting homes in it, which it boggles my mind as a longtime Eatontown resident, but things change. This is something positive that needs to happen in the Monmouth County area, let alone just the Eatontown, Tinton Falls, Ocean, or Shrewsbury area. Okay, this will be big for Monmouth County. Just imagine doing, movie takes in Long Branch. We're doing movie takes in Asbury Park, Ocean Grove, Seagirt, Manasquan, you name it. They're going to be there. Go to Freehold. I mean, they go to Freehold anyway. Bruce is there, or where Bruce Springsteen used to live. They're going to go to Rumson. That's where John Bon Jovi used to live. That's where a bunch of other people used to live. Colts Neck. That's where Forgetting her. Why am I forgetting her name? Queen Latifah. That's who. Queen Latifah was there amongst other people. Danny DeVito was born in Neptune. Lived in other parts of that area, but he was born in what was before Jersey Shore Medical Center. So this is what they're going to do, is they're going to spread themselves out. The Wonder Bar is going to get a big time push from this because they're an iconic part of Asbury Park. Same with Stone Pony, obviously. They're going to want to film and utilize the Stone Pony. So these are the marks that are going to be big if Netflix comes in. So this strike needs to end as soon as possible. They need to get this figured out. I would like some shows to watch besides football because there are nights that there's no football. You got Thursday, Saturday, not Saturday. Saturday's college football, and we'll get. If there's any college football people, we will talk college football. I just can't promise it's every week. As we get to later weeks in the year, maybe, because that tends to be more of who's better, who's not. But we'll get to that. But I probably will do something in the next couple coming weeks because college football starts before NFL does. So, all right. So this next one is something for a redo from last week. I'm sure everybody saw this on their phone on Sunday. Okay, there we go. No show. There we go. So I'm sure you saw this on Sunday morning when you woke up on your phone. If you had Twitter Sunday night or Saturday night, an X showed up on Sunday morning. If you haven't looked at your phone yet, you might have missed out. But now you got an X, and I don't know what you call them. Do you call them X's instead of tweets? I got X's. I don't want to call it X's. That's just weird. But there's something about this dude. I'm hoping at some point somebody buys him out and rebrands it back to the bird, and just makes it easier. All right. I'm making this a little quicker now. So there is sad news if nobody's heard this yet. I know a lot of people have. Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman, passed away last night, actually. At the age of 70, he passed away, according to a statement on his Facebook page. So someone's obviously running his Facebook page. Last night, we said farewell to Paul Rubens, an iconic American actor, comedian, writer, and producer whose beloved character, Pee Wee Herman, delighted generations of children and adults with his positivity, whimsy, and belief in the importance of kindness. I completely agree with that. Forget he got arrested. Forget that. That's insignificant. It's a blip on his entire lifetime of characters that he's done besides Pee Wee Herman. He's critically acclaimed for a movie I've never seen. I read about, called Blow. Now, people who have seen it, you probably know better than I. I just read about it, and I'm like, wow, he was in. So I kind of now want to see Blow, just to see what it's about. I want to revisit the Pee Wee Herman shows. I already did a movie on Netflix 7 years ago. So we're going back to 2016. That's his last movie that I saw, the trailer for. He was a Pee Wee Herman character. So he was good for the kids that were growing up then. I was a little older, so I thought he was a little nutty, and he was a little out of my time. 86 to 90, I'm 10 to I'm 10 to 14. So that was a little bit beyond, but I get the type of character he was. And it's very sad. I mean, we're doing this every week now. Last week it was, the greatest, one of the greatest crooners ever. Now it's one of the greatest child comedians ever. And who knew he was 70? 1952. That's as old as my mother. My mother's 1952. And my dad's 1951. I mean, he was that old, and he was dealing with cancer. That's what he died from. I don't know what kind of cancer. It didn't say. but he died of cancer. He's been dealing with it privately for like the last 6 years. So obviously a little bit after this movie he did. So, all right, we got birthdays today. Nobody I know, weirdly enough. But I did find. Now, you got to find a picture of this guy. Remember the kid who played Sofia Vergara's son? Rico Rodriguez is 25 years old. How old are we if he's 25? And it's insane. Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver AJ Green, 35. So he's roughly got 2 years left on his body before he retires, if he doesn't retire this year. But he's on a good team, so he might actually, anything's possible. He might be on a really good team. We got another comment. Let's see. Paul Rubin was great in the movie Blow. Okay, so you did see it. That's good. One of these days, man, you're going to have to tell me who you are, and maybe if you live close, you come by and, we'll watch it, because I have no idea. I have to look it up to see if it's on any of my streaming apps that I got. But, yeah, so the birthdays, BJ Novak, he's not popular, but he's best known for The Office. Like he did a lot for that show, bringing it to the United States with the couple other people they brought it over. So he's 44, and then Dallas Mavericks entrepreneur, because obviously you've seen a lot of him on Shark Tank. Mark Cuban is 65 years old. He can now retire. Doubt it. I don't think he will. And there was one more. I did see Wesley Snipes turn 61. We all know Wesley Snipes from Blade, and if you saw The Last Coming to America, it was one of his funniest roles he's ever been. He was a general trying to marry off his daughter. His sister, if you remember, they played it off. His sister was the woman who Eddie Murphy's character said, "I don't want to marry you because I want to go, to America." And and one of the things he asked to do was hop like a dog. And apparently for 20 years she's been hopping like a dog. It was hysterical. I mean, if you haven't seen Coming to America, it's not T.O. Coming to America, that is hysterically funny. So there was one other birthday. Now the man is dead, but we all know who he is. The man who played Lurch, Ted Cassidy, was born on this day in 1932 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he died at 46 years old on January 16th, 1979. An iconic character, which has been played by multiple people. He was the first. So the first Lurch was born on this day in 1932. He would have been, he would have been 91? Yeah, something like that. All right, and now I'm adding this too. Movies and shows that were released on this day. The Wiggles, for anybody who's been a parent, you've been a parent since 1998, you've been watching The Wiggles. You know what The Wiggles are. You know that they've changed. They're not the same four that were back in 1998 that are now. Ever After, the movie that was Drew Barrymore playing a version of Cinderella. One of my favorites. Not top 10, it's probably top 20. But it's actually, I think, my most favorite Drew Barrymore movie. And there's a few up there, too. But that's that. Hot Shots came out in 1991. Great classic comedy movie. It's top 10 comedies, no doubt. I mean, the original Hot Shots, it's up there with Major League. Bob, and obviously the key common denominator is Charlie Sheen. He in the late 80s, early 90s was a great comedic actor, and that is one of his probably best movies. And then lastly, this movie that came out this day in 1992, Death Becomes Her. I guess whoever's watching now or will be watching might have to look this up. This was a big-time actor with two actresses, all big-time, okay? And I don't know why I forgot the one woman. So it's Bruce Willis, if you haven't figured it out yet. Goldie Hawn. And the woman who was in Devil, It's complicated. The devil wears Prada. Da, da, da. Oh, I've seen her so many. She has long hair in it. IMDb it or Google it. That's one of the better drama comedies or death comedies that are around. All right. Lastly, I'm trying to promote this. People who've never been in this before. This is a fun poll. Okay, it makes the football season more fun. Email me at chazzroyalty@gmail.com. chazzroyalty, ChazzRoyalt@gmail.com. I got 8 people confirmed. There's 38 days to go. There's a countdown. You log in. I see that you're logged in. We're good. The money, that email goes out in a couple days of where to send it, how to send it, and then also obviously in the email, the initial email that a lot of people have already gotten, it breaks down where the money goes and how much it goes to what. So tell your friends, tell your family if you're interested, if they're interested. I just need contact information. That's all I need, so I can keep in contact and make sure you guys are in. Thursday nights, when everything needs to be in, I'll be bowling. So I can't be doing other people's picks. You got to get your picks in. We're all adults here. This is for you. You want to win money. You want to do your picks. So that's it for now. I don't think I'm going to do one tomorrow, but I could do one during the weekend. My boys want to be in, or at least want to watch. They've talked about it. They've said that they want to be part of, or at least seeing it. I don't know if they're going to want to talk. Maybe if people want to comment to them, if they're watching live. If I do it this weekend, I will have them in a couple weeks during the week, and so they'll be here, and they've already said that they want to be on, at least one of them. So if you have questions for them, anything. I mean, they're 9, so if you want to talk or just say hello. I know if Jeff is on, he loves my two boys. He plays with them all the time. Anytime he ever saw them. So, but anybody who watches, if that's going to be sometime middle of August. So, like you said, this is going to be an interesting next 22 hours. I'm really curious to see if Verlander goes. I'm curious to see if the Yankees get an outfielder. If we get rid of IKF, I don't know. But, cross my fingers. I'm hoping we do something so at least by Thursday when I go to the game, there's something to cheer for. As I tell you, I will boo Aaron Boone, and I have no problem with it. I've met John Sterling. I've met the thumbs down guy. I've met people that I want to meet, and I have no problem booing someone that I don't want, in the building, and that would be Aaron Boone. I'm going to wear this shirt to remind him what he said. I want him to see me. I would love it if I'm in the first few rows, and he sees me. That's what I want, but we'll see. All right. Apparently I hit my goal of walking today. That's great. Anyway, so if, again, you like what you see, you like what you hear, click subscribe on the right-hand corner. I should be on. I know I'll be on next Monday. Whether I'm on this weekend, depending on things I see, things I hear, things that have already happened over the last 22 hours, especially with baseball. I feel I probably have to be on. So thank you for the one person who's been on the entire time. Good for you. I'm glad you've been on. I'm assuming it starts today. Good. I'm glad you were able to handle listening to one person for the last 54 minutes. All right. On that note, take care. I'll see you all. Have a good week.